First, the bad news. SAP Business AI won't generate amusing holiday cards, but it will personalize career paths for your people and let you know which suppliers are best, so you can be ready for the next opportunity. Revolutionary technology, real-world results. That's SAP Business AI.
Welcome to the Instagram Stories Flash Briefing. Our top story today comes from TechCrunch. Instagram bug showed stories to the wrong people. The first line of this article is awesome. Today in Facebook apps are too big to manage, a glitch caused some users' Instagram story trays to show stories from people they don't follow. Essentially, there was a bug that showed people's stories for those people who you weren't following. Instagram was looking into the cause of the bug, but says that it was solved within hours of being brought to its attention. If users clicked on the profile picture of someone they didn't follow in stories, then Instagram's privacy controls kicked in and wouldn't display the content. Facebook Stories was not impacted. But the whole situation points out that the Facebook corporation's ability to properly route and safeguard our data can be problematic. An Instagram spokesperson provided this statement, quote, "We're aware of an issue that caused a small number of people's Instagram story trays to show accounts they don't follow. If your account is private, your stories were not seen by people who don't follow you. This is caused by a bug that we have resolved." There was another article from TechCrunch a couple of days ago that I didn't have the opportunity to talk about, but I think is really important. The title, Instagram now demotes vaguely, quote, inappropriate content. Instagram is home to plenty of scantily clad models and edgy memes that are going to start getting fewer views. Here's the quote from Instagram. "We have begun reducing the spread of posts that are inappropriate but do not go against Instagram's community guidelines." End quote. That means if a post is sexually suggestive but doesn't depict a sex act or nudity, it could still get demoted. Similarly, if a meme doesn't constitute hate speech or harassment but is considered in bad taste, lewd, violent, or hurtful, it could get fewer views. Instagram is quoted as saying, "This type of content may not appear for the broader community in explore or hashtag pages." End quote, which is exactly what should happen. This is part of the effort Facebook is making across all of its apps to ensure they meet their own standards of, quote, integrity. Here's a continuing quote. "We've started to use machine learning to determine if the actual media posted is eligible to be recommended to our community." This is according to Instagram's product lead for Discovery, Will Rubin. Instagram is now training its content moderators to label borderline content when they're hunting down policy violations, and Instagram then uses those labels to train an algorithm to identify these kinds of posts. Now, these posts won't be fully removed from the feed, and for now, the new policy won't affect the feed or the stories bar. But Mark Zuckerberg's November manifesto described the need to broadly reduce the reach of this, quote. There's a super interesting quote from someone within Facebook who explained, "As content gets closer and closer to the line of our community standards at which point we remove it, it actually gets more and more engagement. It's not something unique to Facebook, but inherent in human nature." The point of this policy is to counteract this incentive for posters to get right near that policy line. Facebook's head of newsfeed integrity, Tessa Lyons, was quoted as saying, "Just because something is allowed on one of our apps doesn't mean that it should show up at the top of the newsfeed, or that it should be recommended, or that it should be able to be advertised." Now, that makes total sense. However, if you look at it from the other side of the coin, from someone who posts content that may be taken down because of this, could potentially be a problem. One female creator with 500,000 followers received a 2-week demotion that massively reduced the content's reach on Instagram. They were quoted as saying, "It makes it just like, hey, how about we show your photo to 3 of your followers? Is that good for you?" I know this sounds kind of tinfoil hatty, but when you get a post taken down or a story, you can set a timer on your phone for 2 weeks to the minute. And when that timer goes off, you'll see an immediate change in your engagement. They put you back on the Explore page and you start getting followers. End quote. Personally, I think this is really good. I follow some workout pages, and because of that, Instagram recommends women who are very attractive, who seem to only post pictures of themselves in yoga pants in very inappropriate poses. Now, frankly, I don't want to see that, so I think this is actually a good thing. What are your thoughts? Send me a direct message at Daniel Hill Media. I would love to get your input. Thanks for listening.